echoey. All right, let me try another button.
We'll give them 1 second, Tori, and then we'll get rolling.
Okay.
Does this work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. It's scary that something weird happened, and it's scary that I have easy access to some things. Lost it again.
It's
Still not working.
all right, we got to get rolling here. We ready?
Okay.
I have a feeling Steve will be here twice. Calling to order the Monday, May 3rd regular meeting of the 38th Council of the City of Berkeley. Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Here from Berkeley.
Councilmember Blanchard,
Here from Berkley.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Here from Berkeley.
Councilmember Gavin,
Here, Berkeley.
Councilmember Hennon,
Here, Berkeley.
Councilmember Price,
Here in Berkeley.
Mayor Turbrack.
Here in Berkeley. Our first order of business this evening is the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Or
Motion made by Councilmember Gavin with support from Councilmember Blanchard. Are there any changes or additions? All right, seeing none, Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll?
Blanchard,
yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gavin,
Yes.
Hennon,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Turbrack.
Yes. Tonight's agenda has been approved. At this time, would you please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? With us this evening is Pastor Rachel Dunlop.
Good evening, everybody. Please pause or bow with me. Good and loving God, we gather today and I invite your presence to bring wisdom and knowledge and inspiration to each agenda item this evening. As each of these members faces challenges that grow and develop, may you grow our kindness and compassion. Help everyone to show these attributes in discussion and in the decisions made this evening. Help this board be united in purpose and vision. In the strong name of Jesus, I pray, amen.
I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance
to the
to
flag
the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have reached our first public comment section of the evening, and there will be a second public comment section as well, but this is for items that are included on tonight's agenda. You may present your thoughts and issues again on topics that are part of tonight's agenda, but remember, council members will not engage you in discussion, but if your concern needs to be addressed by a member of city staff or a department of the city, please email the clerk's office at clerk@berkeleymish.net or call the clerk's office at 248-658-3310. If you would like to comment, please raise your hand or dial in at 1-312-626-6799. And that phone number is 1-312-626-6799. The meeting ID is 949-2984-6645, which you'll be prompted to put in. Again, that meeting ID is 949-2984-6645. When you speak, please state your name and city of residence, and remember, you will be limited to 3 minutes. While we are waiting, Ms. Mitchell, did you receive any emails to be read during public comments?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mathis, do we see anything yet?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll give it another few seconds just in case someone's trying to get in. And that's 1-312-626-6799. And the meeting ID is 949-2984-6645. All right, well, seeing nobody now and knowing that we will have a second opportunity, we will close our first public comment section and move on to tonight's order of business. First up is our consent agenda. Ms. Mitchell, would you please read the items on tonight's consent agenda?
1, approval of the minutes. Matter of approving the minutes of the 38th regular city council meeting on Monday, April 19th, 2021. 2, ordinance number 0421. Matter of considering the second reading and adoption of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Berkley, Michigan to amend section 42-77 of chapter 42 downtown development to correct the expiration date of the tax increment financing plan.
Is there a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Dean with support from Councilmember Blanchard. Are there any changes or corrections? Okay, seeing none. Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll on tonight's consent agenda?
Dean,
Yes.
Gavin,
Yes.
Hennan,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Baker, thumbs up. Okay, Blanchard,
Yes.
Turbrack.
Yes. Okay, all right, I believe our consent agenda has been approved. We now move on to tonight's regular agenda. Ms. Mitchell, would you please read item number 1 on our regular agenda?
Resolution number R1221, matter of authorizing the reimbursement of certain permit fees related to the installation of backwater check valve systems.
Is there a motion to approve R1221?
So moved.
Support.
Motion made by Councilmember Hennan with support from Councilmember Price. Mr. Baumgarten.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, everyone. This is an action that was patterned off of a resolution that was adopted by the City Council back in 2017, following a flood event we had then. At that point, we talked at length about the value that a backflow preventer can add to a home, both in the value, but also the prevention of potential sewer backups, and also generally in peace of mind as well from a homeowner standpoint. That conversation or that resolution did lapse after 6 months, and now we've been having continuous discussions about the amount of investment that we've made in our sewer system since. But it was suggested by a member of council that we do bring this back as a potential item to once again reinforce the value that the city thinks that this could add for our homeowners. This is just waiving the permit fees. And again, these are done, not waiving the permit fees, but these are a reimbursement of those fees. So should this be adopted, a homeowner or a contractor would pay those fees. They would go through the normal installation process. They would come out and have an inspector look at it, make sure it was installed properly. And at that point, the fees associated with the permit and inspection would then be reimbursed to that homeowner. That way, there's an incentive to fully install this item, not merely pull the permit itself. I'm recalling back to our conversation back in 2017. There was some question as to why not fund the entirety of these installations at the homeowner's address. Unfortunately, the city is not able to do that. That would be considered to be a private gain through the use of public funds, which is prohibited currently by the Michigan Constitution. So again, we're taking the largest step we possibly can to really reinforce to our residents that this is a worthwhile installation for the home. We'll continue to work on the private or the public infrastructure, and the homeowner can continue to make improvements at their own private residence. So this could be a win-win from both the public and the private entities.
All right, thank you, Mr. Baumgarten. Thank you for that background and how we got to this point. Discussion from council on the resolution that is before us this evening. Councilmember Hennan?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I reintroduced this resolution because I really think backflow valves are the most cost-effective measure available to help protect basements from flooding. And I want to encourage their widespread adoption. So while this resolution gives a small financial incentive for the installation, I think the more important aspect of this is the educational component. Just coincidentally, last week's Woodward Talk had a article about tips on what to do about sewer backups, but it didn't mention backflow valves. And so that just sort of goes to show how often these are overlooked. And with annual maintenance, these devices are extremely effective. And then also on the educational side, I wanted to make sure we make people aware of programs that are available that can help fund the installation for qualified homeowners. So I know this is only a small gesture, and I know that we're exploring if there's more we can do as a city, but this is a start. So thank you.
Thank you for providing some additional context and how we certainly got to this point. Additional conversation or discussion on the actual resolution? Councilmember Gavin?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a quick friendly language suggestion. In the final whereas, I would like just to propose to change it to say funding in the form of grants or loans is available to assist qualifying property owners as opposed to is occasionally available. Just the reasoning being that maybe the occasionally available language could be read more as a timing requirement rather than an income-based requirement, which needs to be met in order to qualify for that CHI loan. So.
Does the maker of the motion, Councilmember Hennan, and the supporter, Councilmember Price, have any issues with that change?
No, I support that.
I support that as well. Thank you for the suggestion.
Okay,
Thank you.
excellent. Any other discussion on the resolution? As was mentioned, if there's anything that we can do to promote additional safety measures in our community, again, even though it may be a rather small incentive in the long term, it is something that helps continue that conversation, have the conversation again, and it may be the impetus if somebody is considering installing a backflow preventer in their residence. Seeing no additional questions or comments, Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll on R1221?
Gavin,
Yes.
Hennan,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Baker, you have a thumbs up. Blanchard,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Turbrack.
Yes. And we now are right back to public comments. We have public comments. This is for items that were not included on tonight's agenda. The same rules apply as before. Again, if your concern needs to be addressed by a member of city staff or department of the city, please email the clerk's office at clerk@berkleymich.net or call the clerk's office at 248-658-3310. If you'd like to comment, please raise your hand or dial in at 1-312-626-6799. You will be recognized by name or phone number. When you speak, please state your name and city of residence, and remember that you are limited to 3 minutes.
Not seeing anyone at this time, sir.
Okay, so we've got some more friends joining us just in case they were joining for public comments. I'll give them a second. Again, that phone number is 1-312-626-6799. The meeting ID 949-2984-6645. Okay, not seeing anybody else. We will close our second public comments and we will move on to communications. Ms. Mitchell, I did not pay attention to the first vote, so who is up first?
Councilmember Hennan.
Councilmember Hennan, you're up.
Thank you, Your Honor. The ZBA will meet on Monday, May 10th. They're going to continue the review of a request for a home addition. And then the tree board's also meeting that same day on May 10th. Agenda items include the legality of hanging things on public trees, discussing some grants to have more trees planted in the city, and they'll likely have a conversation with the city's arborists about trees and the city's sidewalk program. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Councilmember Gavin?
Thank you, Your Honor. Briefly, the Environmental Advisory Committee, there was no April meeting, as I indicated last time. So the next meeting will be May 20th at 6:30. Master Plan Steering Committee will have its next meeting on May 18th at 7 p.m. And then unfortunately wasn't able to attend the last Planning Commission meeting, but the next regularly scheduled meeting will be at 7 p.m. on May 25th. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Thank you, Your Honor. The high-risk response team met today for a training provided by Haven. This training encompassed, it was all about strangulation. And I'm not going to go into any details, but I want to thank Haven and every member of the team who was able to be present today, and especially to the Berkley Public Safety Department as well as Royal Oak, because they are absolutely doing things right and they are aware. And as we continue to learn more and to have these trainings provided by Haven, our team will just continue to get better. So thank you to Haven for that. Registration for summer day camp is now open. You may register online at berkley.maxgalaxy.net. Summer camp will be held at Angel Elementary School for 8 weeks, and it will begin June the 21st. Summer program registration will be coming soon. Probably the information will be out in the next couple of weeks or so. I will update you in my communications at the next council meeting, but if you want something more quickly, I suggest you check the Parks and Recreation Facebook page or the website to see what they have coming up. And then the new play equipment slated for the Tot Lot and Oxford Merchants Park will be ready for play very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Baker.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. So, hey, thanks. Sorry, folks, it was crazy. So, quick updates. The Downtown Development Authority (DDA), their meeting is next Wednesday, the 12th, at 8:30 a.m. They have announced a few cool upcoming events. Sometime in August will be a new outdoor event called Art Night Market. So that should be great. More details coming soon, but just kind of put that in the back of your mind, and a fun time in the city. The Wayfinding Signs project continues throughout the downtown core, and signs should be coming up, and hopefully will be finished in the next week or so. It's not on today's agenda, but the notion of making Berkeley's parks dog friendly with appropriate guidances in place is actively being worked. And in parallel with that, the DDA is talking about opportunities for pocket parks within the downtown, that one of which may be a dog park of sorts. If it's done correctly and we go all the right ways with it, it could be fun. So it'll be neat to see. Of course, we'll keep everybody posted, and nothing will happen until it goes through all the approval processes and fun things like that. The Historical Committee did not meet last month. They meet next Tuesday, May 11th. I will miss that meeting, sadly, as that's the first night of budget hearings. But they are continuing to work on scanning materials that they've received and displays in the museum. And we started talking about opportunities perhaps to partner with the technology committee to see if we could do like a virtual tour, or like you schedule it, and instead of coming in, we have a Zoom thing of some sort, and they escort you around by camera. So that could be fun. Technology met last month, and no meeting this month. They're still bi-monthly. The next meeting is Wednesday, June 16th. Another tech-related note, shout out to Stan and the crew for getting the backhaul in place so that we can have free public internet, Wi-Fi at the new Merchants Oxford Park when that gets activated in the near future. And a quick tech tip of the month is to beware of COVID-19 scammers. Sadly, there are folks out there that are taking advantage of this tragedy and pandemic and people's fears and doubts about things, and sending emails and text messages where if you click on that link, bad things might happen. So beware of that stuff. If it doesn't come from a trusted source, please set those aside. And that is a segue to a quote I'd like to offer. Integrity, this is from Spencer Johnson. Spencer Johnson said, "Integrity is telling myself the truth, and honesty is telling the truth to other people." Now, almost everybody I know just exudes both integrity and honesty, and that defines the core of who and what most of us are. But sadly, we don't always see that from our elected officials, especially those at the state and national level. And one of the things that I'd like to help focus on here is the safety of the COVID-19 vaccine. We have successfully vaccinated almost all of the folks that actively are seeking it and do want it, right? I'm in that group. It's been 4.5 weeks since my second shot. I'm pretty happy about that, and I'm grateful to all those who are making all that possible. But sadly, there's about 1/3 of the population that just refuses to even consider it, and some of that refusal comes from false and misleading information. So here's a couple of myths that I still hear on occasion when I'm talking with folks. The vaccine does not affect women's fertility. The vaccine does not contain microchips. You do need the vaccine even if you've already had COVID-19. The research was not rushed. It emerged from almost 2 decades of rigorous testing with hundreds of thousands of people on viruses in the same ecosystem, the same family. Of course, this one is novel. That's why, new. That's why they call it novel. But it wasn't just something that they made up from scratch and rushed out the door. You do still need to take precautions and wear masks even after getting the vaccine. The vaccine does not cause COVID-19. It is not made from COVID-19. The vaccine does not enter your cells and change or alter your DNA. And you cannot be mandated. Nobody is going to come in and force you to get this injection. So that's why the plea for just listening to the truth and being honest about your concerns or fears. And if somebody helps point something out, like perhaps I may have just pointed something out, that if one person in the city at least is open to thinking about it after hearing this, then I'll consider this, at least a minor, step forward here. It's certainly for that person. It remains a personal choice, but it really is the right thing to do for yourself, for your family, for your neighbors, for your community. So please remember to have integrity in telling yourself the truth, and then having the honesty to tell truth to others, and to know when you need to ask questions, because this COVID thing is not going away, and it's really important that we do everything we can so that we can get out there and enjoy all these cool things that we're doing in the city this summer and fall. So with that, I want to thank you. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Baker, for those very important points regarding the vaccine and dispelling some of those myths. Councilmember Price.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Turbrack. The Beautification Advisory Committee is back to work this spring. They are currently preparing to do spring cleanups at the Tot Lot, the bus stop at 12 and Woodward, and at Friends Park. If you'd like to mask up and pitch in, send me an email at nprice@berkleymish.net, and I'd be happy to pass along more information about those events. Our library will host a variety of virtual events in May, including an introduction to mindfulness meditation, an afternoon book club, and a presentation by author Catherine Remlinger about Yooper Talk, Dialect as Identity in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I'm looking forward to that one especially. You can register for any of these and other events on the library's website or by giving them a call. Of course, the curbside pickup and porch delivery of library materials continues, including books, DVDs, puzzles, and even internet hotspots. And over the weekend, I attended the Michigan Municipal League's Advanced Weekender, which is part of their Elected Officials Academy. This weekend covered best practices and strategies for improving diversity, equity, and inclusion in our municipalities. I wanted to take a moment to share a few key takeaways. From Alfredo Hernandez, who is the Equity Officer for the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. He defined inclusion as the act of fostering diversity, equity, support, and respect within every facet of organizational services and activities. And he pointed out that diversity itself does not imply inclusion. Selma Tucker from the Michigan Municipal League outlined community wealth building as a new framework for enabling and empowering our city's worth. In addition to financial security, we must focus on sustainability, arts and culture, infrastructure, lifelong learning, and public health in order to build long-term wealth in our community. And then the final takeaway I wanted to share was from Michelle Elder. She's a city commissioner in our neighboring Huntington Woods. And she shared with us their process for developing and adopting an anti-racism plan. So we now have a model and a number of useful resources for expanding diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Blanchard.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a quick reminder that on April 15th, we had the COVID clinic at the Rec Center, Parks and Rec Center Community Building. And the time is coming up again this Thursday will be the 3-week mark. So all of those people where there was 307 of them should come back between 10 and 1 at your regular scheduled appointment on Thursday the 6th. And if you are a walk-in and didn't have an appointment for that first one, please come back between 12 and 12:30 on Thursday. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. If other people need vaccinations, there are 2 other vaccination clinics in the area that I know of. One is Friday, May 7th. It's a Johnson & Johnson single dose vaccine site from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex, 867 South Boulevard in Pontiac. And another one on Saturday, May 8th from 9 to 1, North Farmington High School, 13-mile road, Farmington Hills. So these people, if you come to these, you have to be committed to come back. With the second one, it's a 2-shot one, a Moderna vaccine, come back 3 weeks later, or on June 5th, excuse me, 4 weeks later. So if anybody has any questions about these, they can let me know, but please get your shots and make everybody safe. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Baumgarten.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anybody who's visiting public safety or City Hall might notice some construction going on. It is part of our project to update and make ADA compliant our public safety lobby. So right now it's a little bit of chaos, but all for a very good cause and all to increase the accessibility of that department. Those that are visiting, you'll see the signs up all around the parking lot there. But just know if we can save you a trip, go ahead and try calling ahead at 248-658-3380. That's the non-emergency line. That'll get you right to somebody. Of course, if you're in the midst of an emergency, 911 still is and remains your best option. But this is merely for those who would be otherwise doing a walk-in visit. So you still have plenty of options on visiting that department in the midst of our construction. We just ask that you pardon our mess, please. Next up is that our budget work sessions, as mentioned previous, are coming up, as well as the public hearing in advance of adopting the budget. Those will be the 11th, 12th, and 17th, respectively. If you yourself would like to know how the city intends to put your money to work, the draft budget is going up on the website. We typically have a copy of it available at the library or the city clerk's office. Not being able to facilitate that this particular year, we will have a copy up on the website for anyone to download and take a look at. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have both heads of the two-headed monster with us this evening. Mr. Sterin, we'll go over to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
I figured Dan got right out of the way. He has nothing. He does not want to talk right now. Okay, go ahead.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, Council. I will be talking to and with Council quite a bit about several matters in the upcoming closed session that will be starting in a few minutes. So I'll reserve my comments and remarks for that.
All right, well, thank you. And my colleagues have covered every single thing that was on my list as well. So no reason to repeat the things that were already so eloquently said. With that, we will close communications and move on to item number 2 on tonight's agenda. Ms. Mitchell, would you please read item number 2?
Closed session, matter of considering whether to meet in closed session with the city's attorneys to discuss confidential attorney-client privileged communications.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session.
Support.
Motion made by Councilmember Baker with support from Mayor Pro Tem Dean. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. And a reminder, there will be no action taken after the closed session. This is not one of those items where we come back and have anything to vote on. This is all informational for council. We will come back and adjourn, but there will be nothing that happens outside of adjournment, just for those of you who are planning to stick with us. With that, Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll on going into closed session?
Price,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Blanchard,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gavin,
Yes.
Hennon,
Yes.
Turbrack.
Yes.
Right, you guys should be receiving a request to go into a breakout room right now.
It's flowing into my
order. Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
We've now lost
His
Councilmember
phone.
Baker's
Doesn't
sound.
look like his phone made it back.
His phone didn't come back from the room.
I'll come
His
back
phone is
around.
lost in that breakout session. He's
He's here in
Here.
Berkeley, Michigan. Councilmember Blanchard,
Here, Berkeley, Michigan.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Here, Berkeley, Michigan.
Councilmember Gavin,
Here, Berkeley.
Councilmember Hennon,
Here, Berkeley.
Councilmember Price,
Here, Berkeley.
Mayor Turbeck.
I am here and in Berkeley, and I believe we have Councilmember Baker with us again. No, we don't. Okay. I thought his phone made it back.
No.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Yeah, my cell phone was stuck out in the ether. Although I am here on camera, so I think I'm both hemispheres are present and accounted for.
All right. And with that, before we lose any more pieces of Steve, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
I'll do support. I'm tired.
Motion made by Councilmember Blanchard, support from Councilmember Baker. Ms. Mitchell, would you please call the roll?
Blanchard,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Gavin,
Yes.
Hennon,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Turbeck.
Yes. The May 3rd, 2021 meeting of the 38th Council of the City of Berkeley is adjourned.